Hello. Coming to think of the Kenyan curriculum, I think the CBC is having a lot of challenges, a lot of confusions. I don't want to blame, but it seems like someone is just sleeping and waking up with something. Let's say, for example, when it started, we were told that child would go for 2 years in kindergarten, 2 years in kindergarten or nursery, then 6 years in primary, 2 years junior secondary, and then 2 years in secondary. But then, you see, as we continued trying implementing it, we have come around changes and challenges. For example, in the current changes, we see that the presidential working whatever party on education forum say that we are not teaching them too many subjects. Well, though the too many might be mine, but I'm still thinking of it. Like how? And they said on a circular dated December 20, according to the Star newspaper, Basic Education Permanent Secretary Berio Kipsang said KICD reached out the decision in consulting with the Ministry of Education. The presidential party, working party of education, agreed that in PP1 and PP2, that is kindergarten, nursery 1, nursery 2, we should not have more than 5. For the lower primary, that is grade 1 to grade 3, not more than 7. Then upper primary, grade 4, 5, and 6, not more than 8. That is subject. For the junior secondary, 7 and 9, they should have a maximum of 9 subjects. Well, that's too much. When I was in high school, I only did 8, my final year. Then for the senior secondary, grade 10, 11, 12, not exceeding 7. Fantastic. Now, those were the subjects that the students are supposed to cover. When we count the number of lessons, we know sometimes in private school you have so many lessons that our students have to take. Same. For these pre-primary learners, they still remain with 5 subjects with 25 lessons per week. That is inclusive of the PPI, Pastoral Program of Instructions. For the lower primary learners, the number of lessons have been reduced from 35 to 31. Well, in effect, a subject called hygiene and nutrition activities have been merged into environmental activities with 4 lessons per week, while creative arts will now comprise art, craft, music, and PE. For the upper subjects, the number of lessons will be 35 from the previous 40. Agriculture and home science will be merged into a new subject called agriculture and nutrition, and you'll have 4 lessons per week. Art and craft will comprise art and craft, music, and PE, and will be taught 7 times a week, while indigenous and foreign languages will be taught as non-formal co-curricular subjects. For the junior secondary, the lessons will still be 35, inclusive of PPI, and you have integrated science and health education have been integrated into one learning area referred to as integrated science with 5 lessons per week. Therefore, there's less work for the student and more work for practical approaches. Well, what does this entail when it comes to counting the number of years a student have to spend in a certain level? So after all this, we see that a learner will be learning 2 years in pre-primary, that is nursery 1, nursery 2, 7 years in primary, inclusive of junior secondary, 2 years in junior secondary, 3 years in senior secondary, and 3 years in tertiary learning.